Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. What do you do, ma'am?
Yeah, so I'm a teacher, as you can see, evidently over here. Right. I hope I'm properly audible.
Yeah. Now you're audible and visible.
Okay. So actually, I'm not currently seated at the place which I used to take class in, but it's just that today, due to unfortunate circumstances, I have to take class over here. So if you
No
ever
problem.
experience like my voice is not audible or if something is happening, so please do let me know. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay, since we're meeting for the first time, let me introduce myself first. My name is Ritika Dogra, and you also asked me about what do I do. So I would like to know about you a little. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. My name is Kusum. I am Haryana born and bred. I hold an MBA degree. Along with that, I have a diploma in software. I am currently a homemaker and mother of two kids. My older one is son, and I have an infant daughter. That's all about me.
So when you gave me this introduction, it was really good. But let's just try to switch it up a bit, okay? Because when we talk about introductions, it's the first impression that we have on the listener's mind, right? So it's important to make sure that you're using right sentences or you're using impressive language in that, right? So
Sure, ma'am.
you said that you're born and brought up in Haryana,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we can replace this simple sentence with I hail from or I'm based in Haryana.
Okay, I mentioned you. I am Haryana born and bred.
Okay, born and bred. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can. So I mentioned you or I mentioned to you,
Okay, I mentioned to you. Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that is good. But if you just like, I'm just trying to give you some vocabulary which lies in the more advanced side, right? So I hail from, you can say, or I am based in. Just give me 1 second. Right. So this is can be one expression that we can replace it with. Then when you mentioned about your like, do you have any work experience?
No, I don't have any experience.
It's okay. You can say that I'm a homemaker. So mention about what you're currently doing. That is what I'm more interested to know, right?
Mhm.
So you can say I'm a homemaker and a mother to two kids.
Mhm.
So I'm happy that you did use this word. I'm a homemaker rather than using I'm a housewife, right? And a
Mhm.
mother to two kids.
Actually, ma'am, extremely sorry because I have booked your session. I thought my father-in-law would take care of her, but
Okay.
unfortunately, he's not here, so I have to manage her.
Okay. Okay. So there's no one else in the house apart from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So today's session, if you would notice, the topic is very interesting. It's about the power of failures, and we're going to step into reading first. Okay. So I was just saying that the topic that we have aligned for today's class is related to the power of failures. It's an interesting topic and also an inspiring story that we are going to read into. If you please open the session notes for me.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Right. So if you read this story, this is related to Jack Ma.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, he's one
Actually,
of the
I'm
famous
having,
businessmen.
yes, ma'am. I am having the session with mobile phone, so it is very difficult to read out, but I try.
Okay.
In his early childhood, Jack Ma failed his primary school examination not once but twice. He failed thrice during his middle school exams. During and after his bachelor's degree, Jack tried and failed to get a job at almost 30 places.
Hmm.
He reflected.
One second, please. So when you read this sentence during and after his bachelor's degree, so please try not to pronounce each and every word of the sentence. Some words
Okay.
are reduced in speech. That is what we call as stress in a sentence. So we put stress on the important words and we reduce the sounds of the less important words. Okay, so when you're saying during and after his childhood, his bachelor's degree, so and is less important. His is less important. During and after his bachelor's degree, please notice how my voice is going up in during and bachelor's.
Hmm.
Okay. Jack tried and failed. So tried and failed. Tried and failed, if you notice over here. To get a job at almost. At almost. So don't pronounce each and every word in the sentence. Try to do reading like this.
Okay. He recollects in his interview, when KFC come to China, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only guy who wasn't. In one of his interviews, when asked about his rejections, this is what he had to say. Well, I think we have to get used to it. We are not that good. Overcoming the pain of rejections and treating his rejections as opportunities to learn and grow was what Jack Ma made of it.
Hmm.
Having started, sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay. Having started his first successful company at the age of 31, Jack Ma runs one of the biggest e-commerce networks in the world called Alibaba Group.
Hmm. So how you're speaking is good. Like I'm happy about the way you're pronouncing individual words correctly. I'm going to ask you to go back to the paragraph again. Listen to me speak one sentence and please repeat it like I do, like I'm speaking right now. Okay. So let's start from the top. In his early childhood,
In his early childhood,
in his early childhood,
in his early childhood,
Jack Ma failed his primary school examinations
Jack Ma failed his primary school examinations
not once but twice.
not once but twice.
He failed thrice during
He failed thrice during
his middle school exams.
his middle school exams,
Okay. During and after his bachelor's degree,
during and after his bachelor's degree,
please repeat one more time. During and after his bachelor's degree,
during and after his bachelor's degree,
good. Jack tried and failed
Jack tried and failed
to get a job
to get a job
at almost 30 places.
at almost 30 places.
So, how you were speaking at almost 30 places, at almost 30 places. Just notice the rhythm,
Hmm.
right?
30 places.
He recollects in his interview
Mhm. He recollects in his interview
when KFC came to China,
when KFC came to China,
24 people went for the job.
24 people went for the job.
23 people were accepted.
23 people were accepted.
I was the only guy who wasn't.
I was the only guy who wasn't.
Don't put stress on was. I was the only guy who wasn't.
I was the only guy who wasn't.
Correct. In one of his interviews,
Wait a minute. In one of his interviews, this one, don't sleep.
it's okay. You can give us something to play with, maybe.
Sorry, ma'am.
Can you give us some, like, can you give something to her to play with?
I have given her, she wants my phone, and I am giving her another phone, but she wants this one.
Okay. I know it's difficult and challenging with
Wait a
kids.
minute.
No worries.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I know it's difficult with kids. It's completely fine. Don't fret over it. Okay, relax.
Sorry.
Right.
But I thought I should try this session, otherwise I would cancel it.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. That's good. Like it speaks of your commitment. Anyways, even if we are distracted, we are learning something here, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So no worries.
Mm,
Okay. So we were just going. So in the next paragraph, I am going to say the whole sentence, and you then try to repeat it. Okay. In one of his interviews, when asked about his rejections, this is what he had to say.
mm. Okay, I have to read out, ma'am.
Yes, please. Just please focus on my pronunciation, okay, and try to copy it, please. In one of
Mm.
his interviews, when asked about his rejections, this is what he had to say.
In one of his interviews, when asked about his rejections, this is what he had to say.
Good. Well, I think we have get sorry, but I think we have to get used to it.
Well, I think we have to get used to it.
We're not that good.
We are not that good.
So don't pronounce R fully. Do you notice how it's contracted? We're not that good.
We are not that good.
Good. Overcoming the pain of rejections and treating rejections
Overcoming the pain of rejections and treating rejections
as as opportunities to learn and grow was what Jack Ma made of it.
as opportunities to learn and grow was what Jack Ma made.
Was what Jack Ma made of it.
Was what Jack Ma made of it.
Having started his first successful company at the age of 31,
Having started his first successful company at the age of 31,
very good. Jack Ma runs one of the biggest e-commerce networks
Jack Ma runs one of the biggest e-commerce networks
in the world called Alibaba Group.
in the world called Alibaba Group.
Good. So whenever you're reading next time, please practice or focus on pronunciation like this.
Yes.
Do not need to pronounce each and every word of the sentence.
Mhm.
Okay. So when we talk about being expressive, when we talk about showing emotions in speech, so we
Mhm.
can do it by modulating our voice. So that over here needs practice. Right. So when I talk about you, so how do you typically react to failures or setbacks?
I, in my opinion, failures are a part of journey, right? And I believe don't afraid of your failures. Everybody fails in their life. We have to learn from that. Okay, like failures doesn't mean you are failed. It defines you what you do next, right? Instead of sitting on your hands and just brood over it, I have done this, I haven't done this. No, we should find courage in ourselves and we motivate ourselves. We are not going to that mistake again. Setbacks are a part of journey, right? We should take our criticism and failures positively. However, it is wise to get the advice of your family members, friends. What should we do next to who have achieved success in their own lives? Yeah.
Okay. I'm really happy about the way you constructed your ideas. The organization of thought was good. You started with, in my opinion, I believe that failures are part of life, right? Part of journey, you mentioned. Really great start to the answer. Then you expanded on the detail, or you gave reasons that why or how they are part of life and what we can learn from it. Few mistakes here and there in terms of grammar, which I made a note of. If you open the session notes for me,
Hmm.
so the first sentence which I've written, I believe, don't afraid of. What can be the correction over here?
I believe don't afraid of failures doesn't mean we
I
are not.
believe, I believe one should not be afraid of.
Okay. I believe one should not be afraid of mistakes.
Correct.
Failure doesn't mean, yeah,
Failure doesn't mean. So what is the mistake here? In this phrase, failure doesn't mean. What is the correction required here? What is the error? Can you identify?
failure doesn't mean. Failure don't mean.
Don't mean. So
Failure,
what really is the concept? Are you aware about it? Subject verb agreement?
yes, ma'am.
Right. So we
Definitely.
add SES or IES with the verb when the subject is singular. We don't add SES or IES with the verb when the subject is plural. Can you please pronounce don't for me? Don't.
Don't.
Don't. So actually what's happening is like some O sound is coming instead of O sound.
Okay. So
Okay.
how to don't?
So I have
Mhm.
written two words in the chat. So
Mhm.
notice how the different, like the pronunciation differs. So the first word is pronounced as don't, and the second
Mhm.
word is don't.
Don't.
Correct. So when you're pronouncing don't, like don't, the listener might get confused that are you wanting to say don't or not?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So we might have this pronunciation error, which is like now we are aware about it, right? So we can, like, the pronunciation error is related to the sound O or O.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Can you pronounce this word for me? Just a second.
Technology.
Can you please repeat?
Technology.
Right, technology. So don't
Technology.
have that break in between. Like don't say technology. Technology.
Technology.
Correct. Technology.
Technology.
Good. Then pronounce this word for me.
Photography.
No. Like when we pronounce photo, individually it's photo, right? But when you group it with graphy, it would be pronounced like this. Just a second.
Photography. Mhm. Finish.
If if you notice over here,
Photography. Photography.
photography.
Photography.
Okay, please repeat. Graphy.
Photography.
Okay, repeat after me, please. Graphy,
Graphy.
ography,
Ography.
geography.
Photography.
Let's practice it a few times. Geography,
Photography.
not toe, toe. Geography.
Photography.
You're saying toe.
Yeah. What
Toe.
should I do?
Toe.
How? How?
Geography.
Photography.
Good. Photography.
Photography.
Good. Photography.
Photography.
Right. So what's happening is that you're having that certain break before the toe sound. So photography.
Photography.
Good. Photography.
Photography.
Right. There are many words which go like this. So we know this pronunciation error right now, which is related to o or o.
Mhm.
We will definitely practice more regarding elimination of these. Okay. So yeah. Have you heard of minimal pairs?
Minimal pairs. No, I don't know.
Okay. So let's work with that. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. I'll write on a few words for you, and it will also let you know that how you can practice on elimination of this pronunciation error. Okay, so just a second. Ignore the first, which I have written over here. So it's very important to, I think you would be, one must be listening a lot of thank yous and please around whenever you are with your child. Usually this happens when we're trying to teach them,
Yes.
right? Okay, so if you pronounce the first set of words for me,
Note.
only the first. So
Note.
not, want, got, on,
Yes.
cost,
Note.
none.
Not. Want. Got. On. Cost. None.
Now the second set of words. Note, won't, goat, own, ghost, known.
Mhm. Not. Want. Got. On.
You're
Cost.
saying got.
None.
Actually, you're pronouncing the first letters, not the second one.
Okay.
Repeat, please. Note. Yeah. Please repeat. Note,
Not.
won't,
Want.
goat,
Got.
own,
On.
ghost,
Cost.
not cost, ghost,
Cost.
known.
None.
Let's practice it one more time together. Note, sorry, not note.
Not. Not.
Want, won't.
Want. Want.
Got, goat.
Got. Got.
Got, goat.
Got. Got.
You're saying got. Got,
Got.
goat.
Got. Got.
On, own.
On. On.
Coast, sorry, cost, coast.
Cost. Cost.
Non, known.
Non. Non.
Good. Please take a screenshot of this.
Yes, ma'am. I have to.
Okay. What I need you to do is practice it one time with just the first letters.
Mhm.
Repeat the sounds. Maybe if you're having difficulty, like record yourself. Notice how we are supposed to pronounce not, then note. O, 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 O. So that is what we are looking at over here. So this will help us to not pronounce the O sound as O sound. Okay, this is what's happening right now. So yeah, I hope this pronunciation mistake would help you. And you were, I'm happy about the fact that you were aware about subject verb agreement while speaking. These errors are slipping, not always, but sometimes, right? So be mindful about subject verb agreement. And yeah, the mainly the session was centered around pronunciation for me, right? So it's all about the more listening you do, the better your pronunciation would be, right? And if, even for these words, you can Google these words. It will tell you the sound, like there you can listen to the word sound, right? So listen and then repeat. So that will help us to maybe better our pronunciation better. Otherwise, the pronunciation is good, but slightly mother tongue influence.
Yes. When I speak, don't have a fluency. How can I work on my fluency?
It's just about practice. So the
Sorry,
better your vocab, it's just about practice.
it's just about vocabulary.
If the better your vocabulary, yeah, the better your vocabulary would be, the better your fluency would be. Okay, vocabulary, ideas, thought. Your thought process structuring skills are good, but I only go to do it with just one question. So maybe in the coming sessions, when I can ask you more question, I would be able to talk more about this organization and how we can improve fluency. So when you're supposed to take pauses, it's absolutely okay to take pauses, but those pauses should come naturally. So that is what the skill is. Okay, so we can work upon taking natural pauses in the next session, maybe. Okay,
Okay.
right. So thank you and wish you a great day ahead. So bye bye to your daughter also. She was part of this class today.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.